Nearly all the men in Accra are mad. And you're going to find out why we think so or why we are saying so. So enjoy. It is evening at Mausi's house. Her husband's family are gathered in the parlor of their 3-bedroom self-contained they got 3 months ago. They are murmuring and whispering as they wait on Mausi, whose chair is visibly empty. It sits in the middle of the arc-shaped seating arrangement. Mausi can be heard in the distance singing a hymn. As she approaches the scene, the murmurs intensify as she takes a seat amidst her murmuring. When I walk to me, when I walk to sing along, you should know how to sing. Missy, when I walk to me, when I walk to me, when I walk to me. Last night, I calmly put a knife to my husband's penis and promised to cut it off. It scared him so much that today he has called his family for a meeting in the house. He did not call my family members, but does I care? I don't need them. My husband, Kwame's family now crowd the new apartment. It feels like it's around me. They have exclaimed, signed, frowned, clicked their tongue, gnashed their teeth, repeated a million times that I committed an abomination.
Man can't. I told you not to marry him. I told him not to marry you. I said marry someone from your tribe. And when women are dangerous. Well, I blame him for not handling you properly. Because if it was me who was handling you, if it was me, we would try this nonsense.
As a woman myself, I know how difficult men can be. But what you have done is terrible. In fact, no woman in our family has tried this thing before. It's a disgrace to womanhood to want to cut your husband's member. How about if you cut his member, how will you two be able to have another child? You know we expect your next child to be a boy.
Who still says member in this 2024? Calling a penis a member? Member of what? Parliament?
She. Osere. Hey. Hey. You are smiling, eh? You are not well. In fact, you are mad. What was that?
Calm down.
Hey, don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me.
Oh,
this woman wants to kill my little brother.
Oh God. How did I come to love such a sorry excuse for a man? Oh, Kwame. I remember when I was younger, when every man wanted me, but I fell for Kwame's natural charm. I remember how he used to come knocking on my parents' door, leaving me sweet and sweeter notes. I wonder if my life would have been better if I had chosen the soldier with tribal marks from Burma camp. The soldier loved me, but I chose Kwame. The beautiful man boy who made me laugh and overfilled my heart when he said he loved me.
Mausi, why did you threaten to kill my son?
This woman has finally gotten me. I know she never liked or accepted me. She was just indifferent. I would have preferred her to hate me. I blame her and his 5 elder sisters for over-pampering Kwame. Yes, he was the last child and only boy. But their coddling contributed to making him lazy, entitled, and impotent in any adversity. Everything I do for my daughter Sedenam.
I used to sell roasted corn at the junction of University of Ghana, Legon. When corn was out of the season, I sold coffee broke man and sauce. My business was fairly successful because my location was strategic. And there was a lot of foot traffic. Kwame still hasn't found a job.
Hey, Oba. You're not the one I'm talking to. I said, why do you threaten to kill my son?
I met Samuel on a rainy Thursday in June. When he pulled up in his SUV to buy corn, he rolled his window down.
Madam, good afternoon. How much?
Oh, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for stopping. It's 5 CDs for one.
Okay, give me 5 and coconuts. I hope they are soft.
Yes, sir.
Here you go.
Sir, you give me 200 CDs note. No. I just need one, and I'll be able to give you as many.
I know. Keep the change.
Oh.
I like that you are very polite.
Oh, thank you, sir. He returned 2 days later. This time, Sadenam was with me as usual every day after I picked her from school. He packed and got down. I studied him for the first time. He could pass for average. I mean, his features, height, and build were average. But his clothes, well-tailored kaftan and designer slippers.
Madam, your corn was so nice. I came all the way from Pokwase to buy again.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. Thanks for coming again.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Sadenam.
Sedinam. Nice name. What does it mean?
Oh, it means God has delivered me.
Wow. Your doctor looks exactly like you.
Thank you.
You speak so well. What school did you attend?
Oh, UW.
That's nice. And how is business?
We thank God, we are pushing it.
Good. Oh yeah, let me have the same order.
Okay. I added 2 extra cups and 5 extra coconuts for you for the last time, sir.
All right, here you go.
Sir, this is 1,500 CDs. Oh, no, please, I can't accept it.
I won't
please.
take it back either. But I suggest you take it and buy something for Sedi now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I remember vividly the money was enough for me to take the next 3 days off. But I didn't, because I only rested on Sundays. But I did as he suggested and bought 5 dresses for Sadenam, 2 new ones for church and outings, and 3 second-hand casuals for stay at home. She's been wearing the same clothes for some years. And for the first time, I bought her new clothes in her size. And when Kwame, who I told about Samuel's generosity, asked why I didn't buy her clothes 2 to 3 sizes bigger as we both always did, I told him I forgot. But I wondered why I couldn't explain to him that for once, I wanted to see our daughter in new clothes her size, rather than her growing into them when they were faded. Samuel came to buy corn every week and always paid for more than what he bought, especially when Sadenam was with me. For a child who was usually wary of strangers, Sadenam surprisingly had a lot of time for him. And it was because of the little things he did. Always fist bumping her, making funny faces with her, listening as she prattled about school and Angela, her best friend. I nearly cried the day he gave Sadenam $200. I thanked him and prayed for him, and I noticed he was uncomfortable. He never stayed for more than 20 minutes, but I later realized that time was an escape for both of us. Over time, we both developed a warm, understanding companionship of sorts. He didn't speak much about himself, but I got to know some basics. He ran an international freight company. He was in the middle of a bitter divorce, and his 2 children lived with his soon-to-be ex-wife in London. Over time, I told him about myself. First daughter of 3 of an ex-soldier and a military nurse, married to my first love, now mother of 1. I didn't tell him about Kwame's unsuccessful job search till the day he asked what Kwame did for a living. Kwame hadn't actively searched for a job in months, and he spent his days idling at home.
If he doesn't mind, he can send me his CV through you, and I'll see what I can do. Let me know what he decides.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Please stop that. Call me Samuel.
All right, Samuel. At home, I told Kwame about the conversation with Samuel and asked for a copy of his CV. Hey! I was disappointed he didn't seem enthused.
He wants my CV. Okay, I've heard.
When will I get it?
Mausi, you can see that I'm going to get on a queue to use the toilet. I need to get there before Nam messes up the place with a smelly shit. After that, I will queue to take a bath. I hope I don't go in after that useless Joe Willie who uses 2 hours to bath.
Okay, my husband. Give it to me when you are finished.
I have heard.
When 2 weeks passed and he hadn't given me the CV, I wrote one for him. Went to a business center to get it typed and printed and gave it to Samuel. I didn't mind doing such things for Kwame because generally, he was a good man to me, but just a bit lazy. I gave Samuel the CV. He studied it carefully.
I think I can fix your husband in my company. What about you, Mausi?
What about me? How?
Do you want a job?
Oh, no, not really. Because he won't give me time to take care of Sedenam. I want to take her to school and pick her up every day.
So, you are going to do this business forever?
Oh, no. God forbid, never. If I save enough money, I hope to open a grocery store to sell food items. There isn't one in my neighborhood, but I should have an advantage. I can get good produce from suppliers I know in Kaneshi Market. Plus, I'll be closer to home and Satnam. But it's just a dream for now.
How much does your dream cost?
I did the costing last month from rent, furniture, and first stock. They came up to almost 18,000 Ghana cedis.
Mausi, you are a beautiful woman. I want to help you, but I'm also human and selfish. So here is my offer. I will give your husband a job in my company, and I will give you 40,000 cedis. All I want in return is you spend the weekend alone with me in Adar. I'm going there for some businesses. Yes, this is If you agree, you don't have to see me again after the weekend if you don't want to. If you reject my offer, I will understand. But I suggest you think about it.
What? Hey, how dare this man insult me? Sir, look, please don't buy anything from me again, okay? Don't step here again. I am a married woman. My husband is man enough for me, and I will never cheat on him. Hey, you have insulted both of us, and you want to go ahead.
It's an offer, not an insult. You have my number, Mausi. Think about it.
As he drove off, I felt a tear run down my cheek. I went home early. I was still fuming when I told Kwame about someone's preposition. I expected his rage to match mine, thunder to my lightning, but he stayed silent for a long moment.
Isn't that the man who gave Sedenam $200?
Yes.
Foolish rich man.
Yes.
You are my woman. You will always be my woman no matter what. You understand?
Yes.
Hey. Aren't you listening to me? I said, why do you want to kill my son?
Hey, come on. Answer mommy's question. We are waiting.
And wait you shall. Oh, I remember on that Friday, my first night in Nada. Someone made me wait. Earlier in the day, he had taken me with him on his business. He asked me to sit with him through meetings with landowners and farmers, introduced me as his associate, and asked for my opinion. He even asked me to take over the last meeting. When we returned to the city, he took me shopping, then to a late lunch. In the hotel suite, there was an awkward silence as he sat on the couch and watched me perch uneasily at the edge of the bed. Then he wrote and handed me a check. 58,000 Ghana cedis. Aye!
Here. This is for your dream. And then some.
For my soul, you mean?
I know this is hard for you, Mausi. In another world, I believe we'll be perfect for each other. But we are in this world, and the best we can get is this glimpse of what we could have been.
I I thought this was an offer. A transaction like the ones you do every day.
One of my many flaws is I negotiate for everything in this life, even for things that money can't buy. If I told you, I think you are amazing, and I'm crazy about you, and I want you in my life, Sedinam. And Sedinam too. You'd have said no, right?
True.
That is why I negotiated for your crumbs.
In fact, those words collapsed my high walls and eased my mind. It felt so natural when we both lay on the bed and talked. When he held my face and called me beautiful. When we kissed and I tasted the wine on his soft lips and it all went to my head. Nothing happened that night, unfortunately. The following morning, he slipped into the shower after his morning run, and I slipped into the shower beside him, naked. We were both running under the cold spray by the time we were through. Then he pinned me against the wall, and I lifted a leg to welcome him as he slid into me. Oh, we halted out and bounced on the bed still wet, body and water fluids. He lay on me while I rubbed my legs around him. Oh my God. He was amazingly different from Kwame. Oh, severe, kinkier, unselfish. Later, as I lay on his chest, I was fascinated by how fast his heart was beating. It was beating fast on our last night together.
Stay with me. I mean, when we get back to Accra, come and be with me. You and Sedinam. I know my personal life is a mess, and your marriage is complicated, but I also know we'll be good together.
You are negotiating again.
I know. I don't know how to stop.
I don't want you to stop.
Hey, Sister Mausi, won't you say anything? Me, I cannot say something for you again.
You are just sitting there smiling in silence when we've asked you a question. Hey.
Ask Kwame.
Huh? What should I ask Kwame?
Ask your son why he made me sleep with another man for money. And when I say he made me, I mean for 3 days. What? Yes. He quarreled with me and refused to eat my food. Men are scum. He didn't even touch me. And even begged me to do it to secure our daughter's future. You.
Kwame!
He's here. Ask him why. Kwame, please tell your family why you made me sleep with another man for money, but treated me like a leper when I returned. Ask me, please, explain why you refused to take the job the man offered you, but you insisted that I took the money. Rent this house and buy you that stupid watch that you are wearing. Kwame, tell them why you have refused to touch me, but you are sleeping with every girl in the neighborhood. You unemployed creature like you. Why did you say yesterday that you don't think Sedinam is your child?
Kwame, it is true.
It is true.
See, Adama, one last thing. If Kwame doesn't move out of this house, if he doesn't move out of this house, I will cut his member and use it for money rituals.
Kwame.
End of part 1. Here we present to you a lover's vendetta.
If we ever meet again, only one of us will leave the encounter unharmed. Look, if I don't kill you, I will leave a mark so deep and prominent on your face that anybody with sense will look at the mark and know that only a worthless first person who do something deserving of such a scar. The anger that has been boiling my blood since the day you disappeared will never be cooled until I inflict the same pain on you. We met when we were both trying to find our paths in life. You were a 27-year-old mechanic at John Holt, and I was 25. We sat side by side in a trotro from 37 to Medina. I remember I was so tired from working that day at my cleaning job at 37 Military Hospital that I fell asleep on your shoulder. Maybe for other people, my job would have been something shameful. But I can never be ashamed of making my own money. Never. See, when the ATM machine brings out CD notes, they look the same, no matter how you have earned it. Anna. Hey. Besides, cleaning people's messes at the hospital was perhaps one of the most therapeutic phases of my life. And that day I fell asleep on your shoulder was one of those days I did major cleaning at the hospital. Everyone always leaves a mess in the hospital's toilets, but I did not mind at all. I found cleaning soothing. It was not the worst job I ever had, and I didn't look down upon myself. I knew I was going to make it in life, so I was okay with the many phases and curves life brought through at me. Della, it was tiredness that led me to you. I leaned on you, trusted you even before I knew you. The thing is, I should have chosen the other empty seat beside the woman who had a basket full of Kobe on her laps. But I just didn't want to spend hours in traffic inhaling the strong smell of fish mingled with other smells. And so, I decided to sit beside the young man with a clean white shirt. Anyone who could keep a white shirt clean at the end of the working day in Accra deserved a standing ovation. Oh yes, but I should have also known that any man who could keep a clean white shirt at the end of an Accra working day would be dangerous.
Excuse me. We are at Medina Junction. I hope we have not gone past your bus stop.
Hey. I'm sorry, I didn't know when I slept off.
It's okay. I could tell you were tired.
Hey, Moai, Adam and Eve for Munsi for my last stop ni. What the phone I'm within frame so passengers stay. Munsi.
We all rushed to get off bus, but as we clambered down, I noticed you held my hand to keep me safe.
Della.
Nice to meet you. My name is Tinewa.
Tinewa.
Yes.
That is a beautiful name.
We gisted like old friends, and we had a lot of things in common. But the deepest bond we shared was the loss of both our parents. That night when I got home, I told Fossey that I had found my husband. A year after we met on the bus, we were married. I had gotten a job as an Uber driver, and I was making money, whilst you were on the rise as a mechanic in John Holt. So we moved from Medina to Salvation Road in PaGya. The next morning of our registry wedding, Fossey asked why I chose to marry you.
But Tinewa, what about Emmanuel? That man really loves me.
Hey, Fossey, please. Focus on your boyfriend of 4 years who have given you a ring but won't want to walk you down the aisle. Yes, Emmanuel loved me. But you see, there is love and then there is love. You see, immense love reminded me of when I was alive and we're still living in our unpainted house in Oyarefa. I remember my mother used to buy these, your friend is Accra, small ceramic things like ducks and cats and arrange them in one cardboard that had glass covering. The roofing sheets of our house shook and vibrated, and with any small breeze, and when it rained, we used to sweep water out every morning from April to September. But those her ceramic toys were her pride and joy. She would polish them on Sunday mornings, humming and singing to herself in our parlor. To Emmanuel, I was one of those toys. If I stayed with him... Ladies and gentlemen, I said, if I stayed with him, our cement house will be flooded with water. But he will be petting me, thinking that he is happy and content. But you, Della, you were the kind that if there was a riot, tear gas fall everywhere, and sirens are sounding off. I believe that you would come and find me. Yes, you would hold my hand and you would run together to keep me safe. I didn't believe that a Prince Charming was going to ride into Medina on a white horse to save me and carry me off to Trasacco. You were the closest to a Prince Charming, and I was content.
Please, my dear, don't be angry, I'll leave you be. Marry him. I will support you.
And she did just that. At the registry in Accra, she followed me around with a handheld plastic fan so that my makeup would not smudge and the wedding photographs would look nice. I remember when I moved out of our shared room, she followed me in the rickety yellow and black taxi, cardboard boxes on her laps, joking about how she would be the one to help me with my first baby because I had no mother and neither did Della. Fosti will always have my house for standing with me. After 4 months as an Uber driver, our finances improved. Even though I was splitting my profit 60-40 with the owner of the car, it belonged to a former colleague from the hospital who wanted to help out. But whilst she was working long hours as a doctor, her Toyota Camry was making money for both of us. Being an Uber driver was not dangerous at all. You see, like with all things, I applied sense. I never drove out night, preferring to start at the crack of dawn. I was never harassed. I was toasted, but never harassed. I guess not every man in Accra is unfortunate, except you, Della. Yes, except you. How could you be so unfortunate, See, aside from the pain I feel, I am just disappointed in you. And I regret sharing my money with you. I regret sharing anything with you, Della. We were young, in love, and newly married. Living in our one-bedroom apartment, filling it with our dreams, hopes and prayers during the day, and our passionate love-making at night. We worked hard and came home exhausted, but we were never too tired to explore our bodies. No man had ever shown my pussy the kind of love you showed it. The way your tongue swept over my clit, the way you sucked my juices dry and then made me wet again by sucking my nipples. Whilst you teased me with your fingers, the way you kept inserting your tongue in and out of my pussy. Swallowing my orgasm over and over again. Della, your tongue has more uses. You should cut that useless piece between your legs off. Your tongue is enough. Perhaps before I kill you, I will let you ride me with your tongue one last time. One for the road. At least you will die with the taste of my vagina accompanying you to the hell you came from. You nearly took everything away from me, Della. And for what? For what? Look, wherever you are now, I hope it was worth it. Married to you taught me a lesson I hoped never to learn. I should have known you were up to no good when you disliked Fosti. My only true friend who was closer to me than a sister for no good reason.
What kind of name is Fosti? Titi say.
Babe, it is Faustina, but she chose to shorten it. Baby, please leave her.
My wife, I don't like that girl. She is weird. I don't want her coming here.
I was shocked. But babe, you know all about us. Like Fosti and I. You know the emptiness of having lost your parents at a relatively young age. Mine died in a car accident when I was 10, and I ended up in St. Anne's orphanage. But unlike me, who at least once knew her parents, Fosti was abandoned from birth and was raised completely by the nuns. Thank God I didn't listen to you. Thank God, Kamenu meho papa. I would have been left with nothing if I did. Fossey might be weird, but she was right about you being wrong for me. But the first year we were married, it was not obvious to me. The many times your uncle would sit in our space and admonish us, you always stood up for me.
You people should start now, so that your children will grow with you.
By next year, my wife will be pregnant.
My
Please
friend,
don't put
my
us
friend, shut
under
up.
any pressure.
Shut up. I'm the only one here since your father, my brother, died. All the other relatives ran away. Until your mother succumbed to cancer, I helped train you and your brothers. I want to see my grandchildren, Dela. It is the least you owe me.
But uncle, please take it easy on my wife. She is just 26. We are not even in a hurry to end our honeymoon.
The way you defended me always got me excited, and I couldn't wait for him to leave so we could be naked. I craved the sensation of your dick sliding into me, filling me up with your semen. Uncle didn't need to beg me to carry your seed. You knew how much I loved children. Maybe it was because I was an only child and you were not. The fact that I did not have to choose a blood relation in this wretched life was the saddest thing for me. It was another reason why I married early. And I was going to have at least 4 children. Yes, I was young and I was working hard, saving every kobo and investing what was left. You and I opened a special account for our future children's future. I was patient. I knew it was only a matter of time before my life would completely change. Hey! Who knew? Who knew that it would all end like this? Hey! Memanye. In our second year of marriage, my doctor friend came up with a suggestion that I refused at first.
Tinewa, you are a hard worker and you are smart. More than you love children, and you are kind. I will recommend for you nursing school. It's just 3 years. Why not give it a try?
We had been trying for 10 months by that point, and there was nothing. My periods came as usual, very painful and heavy. Fossey and I were even still having our periods together. The time was... and you know what? Her time-wasting fiancé could have even bought shares with the rest by that point, though. He didn't want to marry her, and he didn't want to make her a mother either. Bailey. We lamented to each other, cried and prayed together, hoping for a change in our situation. Della, when I told you about Dr. Ole's suggestion, you surprised me by asking me to give it a try. Nipanyo, Mema in particular, Omonye. You encouraged me by saying, nursing and motherhood get together, and that having my own children will make me a better nurse and vice versa. You told me we could use some of our savings and investments to pay the fees. And that July, after some extra lessons to brush up on the core subjects, I passed the exams and was accepted into nursing school. What a fool I was. A year went by so quickly. In fact, Dr. Ola was right. It was like I was made for nursing. It was the only thing that made the fact that I was still without a child of my own bearable. We had gone to see 3 different doctors, and they all said we were completely fine physically. Uncle brought us some stinking concoctions to drink, to bathe with, and rub on our private parts before sex. I refused to use any of it. Another year passed by, and I gave in and started using them religiously and calling for your uncle for more once they were finished. We decided that it was possibly that the stress of working and schooling full-time was the cause, but I had gone too far to stop, and our savings had dropped to 1/3 of what it used to be. I told myself that I had a year, and then I would be a mother. I had been patient enough, and I knew God was going to answer my prayers. I confided in Dr. Ola. She immediately booked us for a consultation with a reproductive specialist that she knew. I was so relieved. I felt hopeful. And maybe we would finally get to the bottom of what was going on. I sent you a text with the date of the appointment and the address and went to school. I was sitting in the living room that evening, scrolling through my phone. I remember looking up and seeing you standing before me. You were crying. Babe, wait. What's wrong?
No, I can't father a child.
Oh, Della, I know you are scared. I have been scared too, that all the doctors missed something. Look, don't blame yourself. I am sure this new doctor will find something and then we will get to the bottom of what is happening. Della,
They lied.
Eh?
They all lied because I paid them to lie.
What?
You know what? I'm infertile. I've known since I was a teenager, but I didn't want to lose you. So I didn't tell you.
No. They were all tilted. It was at that moment that I understood that a person can suddenly run mad. It was like I was underwater, falling and falling without reaching the bottom. Everything my eyes landed on was swimming and moving.
I once had a bad kick in the testicles during a weekend football match with my friends, and it damaged me for life. I've made several efforts to get all the women who dated me pregnant, but it is just not possible.
I felt nothing. I watched you cry, but all I wanted to do was smash the head that you had the audacity to leave me on my lap on the wall. You had booked all the previous doctor's appointments, Della. Even the last one Uncle recommended to us. It was because I was busy, you said. I thought you were so considerate, so kind. But as you begged me and cried throughout the night, the only thing I wanted to do was to clean. I wanted to clean the house and rid it of you. I wish I had killed you then. You took 4 years away from me, Della. 4 good years. 4 years I could have spent loving another, or even loving myself more. The next morning, your uncle showed up at the door.
Hello, Tinewa. I have brought you fresh batch of herbs.
Uncle! Did you know that I cannot impregnate a woman? What? No. You knew. Hey. Jesus. This man sat with us. Ate my food. God. Gave us who knows what rubbish to be drinking and rubbing on our private parts for children he knew would never come. Hey. I didn't say anything. I shut the door on his face on my way out. I found Fosti and I told her everything. She went with me to the appointment, and a week after, ladies and gentlemen, I got the confirmation that I was physically fit to have children. On the evening of the betrayal, I came to the house we shared and met it emptied out. Hey, you and your wretched, cowardly uncle packed almost everything of value we had both worked for and disappeared. After I cried and screamed, I picked up what was left and called Fosti. Abandoned once again, she was all that I had left. It's been a year, and I am still once again working in the military hospital 37, but this time as a nurse. I still clean up people's messes. People even vomit on my body, cry. And I handle support during surgeries, and now clean up people's blood too. What you did to me. What you did to me changed me, Della. It nearly destroyed me. But I am putting the pieces of my life back together, just as I was on the day I met you in that trotro.
So that was an end to part 2. We now have part 3, international relations.
I am tired of Accra men. Nearly all of them are mad. Oh, more bodam. The standard Accra man package comes with lying, cheating, occasional scamming, alongside stylish kaftans, splashes of sauvage and oods, and fake accents. See, they have shown me so much for pain in this my life that I have finally seen the light. It's so bright and so white. By white, I mean, oh, brony. Yes, I am going international and not looking back. I swear, the next man I date in this Accra will be on Obroni, so help me God. In this life, you need to know yourself. I have come to know myself. I know I have a sharp mouth, yes, but I'm really a chilled out woman. And Accra men come with insem in abundance. Even in little things. Talk about, I prefer to sleep by 10 p.m., but that's like morning for Accra men. Tell about the night is still young. Let's get something to eat. Akrachi, you and who will eat this late? And if I get fat, you will be the first to chase after filter girls. Plus, both my parents had high blood pressure. So, since I am likely to genetically inherit it, I have decided to cut out one of my risk contributors. No, not food. Accra men. One of those girls who used to judge Ghanaian women dating white men in Accra. Like, are there no guys in Accra? Why are these fine girls sticking with these men? I'd often complain to my friend Susan. She understood. Most of them were unattractive, middle-aged, older, lacked even a drop of swag compared to our Ghanaian men. Some smell like garlic. Then I began to notice the woman. I saw them as they paraded Accra with their red-faced, pot-bellied obronis. Many had that look like they knew a secret which we didn't know. Some looked smacked around their men as if they were saying, this one is mine. He is going nowhere. No boys, no for boys, or pom-pom from any girl can take him away. Me too, I wanted that assurance. In parties and other events, they didn't participate in that subtle jostling for attention of Accra men like we did. They always seemed content and self-assured, secured in their peace of mind and soft life. Me too, I realized that peace of mind and soft life, it will fit me die. That's when I decided to myself, Araba, you have misled yourself and walked in error all these years. So I decided to get myself an Obroni man. I have a list of preferences. First, he mustn't have a poverty mentality like my ex, Jojo, who insisted I always cook even when I was exhausted because it was cheaper. It was a problem because he was one of those I want fresh food every day man. He called himself a foodie, but really he was a glutton. He fired my chef and my gardener as part of a series of some silly wife material tests. Me too, the mumu at that time. I was mute and didn't tell him I was skeptical about marriage. As the only child of deceased parents, there was no one to pressure me into marrying. And I prefer to keep it that way. My relationship with Jojo had me cooking, doing his laundry by hand, cleaning on weekends, all tasks I would rather outsource. Then he made me take Uber or public transportation when we went out because he didn't have a car. And weirdly, he refused to enter mine. He didn't want me to Uber to his place because he didn't want people assuming that men were dropping me off at his. So, it's either I take a painted taxi or stop the Uber several houses away from his and walk down. I regained my senses and broke up with him the day he suggested we fly an Okada from 37, you know 37, from 37 to East Legon because of traffic. Maybe it was because we were on our way to see his mother too, but I realized I couldn't take that huge step with such a miserly man. Which brings me to my second preference. He should have his own money. Yes, I am no longer lending money to any man or funding any man's lifestyle in this Accra. As my grandmother would say, I am better using that money to play shake. I would also prefer my Obroni to be ugly or plain looking. I want him to be grateful for dating me, Araba. I'm not really sure why I want this. Maybe it's my vanity or the trauma of the infidelities of Accra men who think they are doing women favors by sleeping with them. All the handsome Accra men I dated ended in tears. Premium tears. The latest one was Andrew, who introduced himself as Dre. Oh. He looked like he was created by all the filter and model gods of Instagram. I would stare at his chiseled body and wonder, and his piercing eyes and want to confess since I hadn't committed. Oh, he was 25, 4 years younger, but he was so beautiful he made me break my rule of not dating someone I was older than. However, quickly I realized we were at different places mentally. All he wanted to do was smoke weed, take pictures for his social media, and go wild at clubs. Also, I couldn't keep up with his youthful energy. I prefer gentle love making. Andrew felt like we were bitter enemies fighting to death. One time, he even refused to use the bed. We did it against the wall, against the bedroom floor, on the cold tiles of my bedroom floor. Oh. And one time, Dre, he lifted my legs and crossed them mid-air. I stopped him immediately. I said, Andrew, only witches cross their legs like this. Free me. He would send pictures of different sex positions he wanted us to try. I kept thinking, no, we mustn't try everything in this catalog. I don't want to strain my joint to climax. No, I can't twerk on your dick. Me a penny, I've got weak knees. Sex should be boko. Miss me all that freaky and over-adventurous stuff. So, my fourth preference is Obroni should be conventional in bed. I started my search in Spintex. According to Susan, the best places to look for white men in Accra were Spintex, East Legon, Cantonment, Airport, and Jowulu. So, my plan was to visit and spend some time in these neighborhoods on weekends. So one Friday night, I decided to do some of my grocery shopping at supermarkets in Spintex. I whiled away a lot of time strolling through the aisle. Amazingly, that night, I only ran into hot white men. Hey, so find Obroni plenty for Accra like this. Why were these women following the war ones? I considered giving my number to one bearded, green-eyed hunk who was checking me out in the supermarket aisle. But I checked my set and I remembered, hey, Araba, your preference for a plain or ugly man. I scheduled East Legon the next day. Susan has said we should go to a restaurant frequented by Obronis. I called her that morning.
Hi, girl. What's up?
I'm all right. All set for my Obroni hands in East Legon.
Araba, you were serious about this yourself?
Of course. What time are we doing dinner at this restaurant?
7 p.m.
Okay. Wait, are you coming with your husband? No, so I prepare myself for his lecture about marriage.
Don't worry. Ben has traveled. It's just me, you, and the girls. You know, Zilla and Messi.
Great. See you then. Text me the location via WhatsApp.
Sent. See you soon.
All right, girl. Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine this restaurant turned out to be a Lebanese restaurant? A Lebanese restaurant?
Babe, what is wrong with it being a Lebanese restaurant?
Girls, Lebanese no be Obroni.
Yes, they are, Araba. What else are they? They are definitely not black.
Exactly.
The ladies went on and on and on in Chi until their food arrived. Then, while waiting for the bill, a middle-aged Lebanese man with slick black hair rose from a nearby table, walked to the lady, smiled, and said, "Muhuayefo." It is saying, "Yefremi Samid."
Hey, sir, Wakachi, Sne, Ebusia. That's how I added another preference to my list. My Ebony should be Western, no Lebanese or Indian or Chinese or anyone more Ghanaian than I am.
Welcome to week 5.
I am tired of searching for available Ebony men in Accra. It's been over a month. I've been to every major part of Accra, but I haven't had any luck with finding my spec. I would focus on cantonment in the coming week. Mercy has suggested that I stay at her place in cantonment for some days and join her on her daily jog in her neighborhood. My luck was horrible. 2 weekends later, I went to a restaurant in Jowulu with Susan, and Zila swore by. Like they had advised, I went alone and timed my visit to coincide with the Obroni crowd who came for long Sunday lunch. I found a table, settled in. But I didn't order a starter immediately. Instead, I whiled away some time sipping on a Moscow mule and reading. I caught the glances of most of the men. After some time, it seemed to have logged out because a man shuffled to my table. He looked exactly like my spec. Stocky, lean brown hair, plain enough, flaccid belly which jiggled under his t-shirts, and thin cane leg which looked awkward in his shorts and palm slippers. I could see in his eyes that he was nervous, so I smiled. He smiled back and joined me at my table. I began to think he was perfect, but the universe had other ideas because 30 minutes later, I noticed the white woman with stunning silver blonde hair come in and scanned the room till her eyes locked on us. As she strung her face, I knew immediately she was either the wife or the girlfriend. She strode towards us, and I thought, I quickly grabbed my things, called for the bill, paid, and left.
Week 7.
One day, the universe threw me a curveball in the person of the Russian. I met him when I was an advisor in consumer and industrial markets for one of the big 4 audit firms. And he headed a multinational waste and plastic recycling company. I'd written a market intelligence report for his company through my firm. And 6 months later, I helped his company secure a lucrative contract with the government. To celebrate, he insisted on taking everyone involved to dinner. But by then, I had left the firm for a better paying rival. He had gotten my number from my former colleagues and called me to join them at the restaurant in Cantonment. But I was already back home in Medina Estate and didn't fancy driving all the way back to town. That was when I got his number. But because I only knew his surname, Mr. Zedev, I saved it as the Russian. After I settled in my new firm, I wanted the Russian company to hire us to provide audit and financial services. So I called and scheduled a meeting for the pitch. I went alone because I didn't want to share any bonus my firm would give for securing a new high net worth client. On the day, I got to his office at Jowulu early. I presented myself to his secretary, a bony, thin-lipped woman who had a bitter smile. Good afternoon, ma'am. I have been here to see Mr. Zedov. I have an appointment.
I remember you. Still missing, Sia?
Is that a problem?
Oh, don't worry. God will do it for you, okay?
As I considered telling her that God should first focus on fixing her stupidity, the Russian opened the door to his office.
Araba, come. Hey, you helped me get big contract, but you disappear before I thank you. Why?
I know how you can thank me. Give my firm some work. It's not just about thanking me. It's in your company's best interest to use my new firm. Allow me to show you why.
Sit. Interesting. Nice proposal you have here. Well done. Let me think about this, okay?
Da, sir.
Why you speak Russian?
I learned a few Russian phrases from YouTube, hoping to impress you and seal this deal.
I'm Ukrainian. You have boyfriend?
What?
Boyfriend you have?
No.
Good. Have dinner with me, please.
You are my client. Okay, not my client yet, but it's unprofessional. You know, I don't know the word to use for that.
I understand. Easy solution. I say no to proposal, so I'm not client. No more problem. So dinner?
I think you should reconsider my proposal.
I have friends in other companies. I help you get them as client. I promise. Dinner?
Wait, this is unexpected. I don't know anything about you.
What you want to know?
Your first name?
Apostle.
Apostle, like the title?
It's spelled A-P-O-S-T-O-L. Apostle. Means same thing. But it's my name. Next question.
I don't know. Don't you have a wife, girlfriend or something?
No.
Why?
I tell you at dinner.
At that moment, I remember my grandma saying about finding what you have searched for in faraway Bolga right here in your pockets.
Week 12. Arabe's doorbell rings. As she walked to the door, she glanced at her watch and thought that Pastor, as she now called Apostle the Russian, was early. He was supposed to pick her. They drive to La and take a boat to a private beach near La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. She opened the door. It wasn't Pastor.
Hello, Ohima. Etisian.
Oh my God, Tunde! Tunde was my Nigerian friend and the only person who calls me Ohima.
Missy Etisian.
Who is teaching you Chi?
I've been taking some courses just for you. Say,
Not bad. You've been missed, Tunde.
You are still Ghanaian black.
And you still look like a wannabe Ramsey.
What? You are still crazy.
Hey. Don't come and insult me, okay? I'm not crazy in Jesus' name. Hey, come in. Such a pleasant surprise.
You've done up your place. Fear. It was nice before, but it's great now. I like it. Especially how airy it is.
Thanks. It's been a while since you were here.
Hey, yeah. The last time we saw was 2 years ago.
Hey, that long? Life, eh? You didn't tell me you were coming to Ghana.
How could I? You don't take my course.
But we text now. You know I've been busy.
Oh, boa. Liar, oh.
Yes.
It's because of my wife.
Yes, that's true. You know how we can be with wives and female friends. Have to respect her and keep boundaries. So, how have you been? Charlie, you want something to drink? Your choice are water, Sprite, and Sobolo.
You know, I don't like you calling me Charlie. It makes me feel I'm just your friend. Like you have friend-zoned me.
Charlie, you are just my friend. You were always friend-zoned.
I'm working on changing that. My Ohima. See, since we met, I've always been working on that.
And who sent you on that hopeless work?
The only reason why we didn't date in uni was because it was never the right time and we were always with other people.
You mean you were always with girls?
They were always with me.
Liar. But you were never my type anyway. You know, I always preferred older men.
That's what you always see. But I will quote the famous Trotro mate and say, Fastiano mame. It is possible.
What?
It is possible.
Are you mad, Tunde? Where is your wife?
She's in Lagos. We are getting divorced.
What did you do?
Why do you think it was my fault?
Because I know you. You have eyes for every woman. Now tell me, what did you do?
It doesn't matter. We are getting divorced. That's why I came to Accra. To tell you, I want us to be together after the divorce. You know, we'll be good together.
Your baby.
Oh.
Are you mad? I've got a boyfriend. You know, I'm big on boundaries.
Who is he?
Pastor. He's Ukrainian and also my client.
You are dating a white man.
I got tired of Accra men. and I grew up.
Still, I never figured you would date a Ukrainian pastor.
His name is Apostle. Yes, it means apostle. So I nicknamed him Pastor.
Are you happy with him?
I am content. He is crazy about me, respects me, accepts my choices. He's financially comfortable, refreshingly honest, easy to talk to, easy to be silent with. The sex is good enough, no drama, thank God. Proper grown-up relationship. Yes, he ticks most of my boxes.
He is much older, I guess.
Of course, he's 51.
You love him?
Love isn't always necessary, Charlie.
Ohima, you know I love you. Eh?
I beg. You are worse than all the Accra men I know combined.
Just then, the doorbell rang. Araba walks to it and opens the door to a visibly disturbed apostle.
My pastor.
What going on? Who's this?
Meet my friend Tunde. Tunde, meet my boyfriend Apostle.
Your friend I don't know?
What? You can't know all my friends.
Yes, but I hear this friend say he robbed you just now.
Look, man.
No,
Listen. Tunde is one of my dearest friends. I can't forget or repay him for what he has done for me. All the way back from university days. Yes, occasionally he says he loves me, but it's just that. Words. Nothing has happened between us, and nothing will happen.
You have good man now, me. You too old to change man every day. So you never talk to Zach's man again, okay?
Just like that. Time slowed and stood still. See, this life, you need to know yourself. I have come to know myself. Yes, I like to joke and talk nonsense, but I would disgrace myself and my grandma if I allow one more man in this Accra stand on top of my head. Get out.
What?
Get the fuck out of my house, Mr. Zedo. And you, Tunde. You and I can never be together. I need you as my friend. So respect that and keep the needed boundaries. It's week 13. I am no longer with Pastor. Susan said Tunde is back with his wife. You see why she fear men? Fear men, no. He's back. She told me because I had no way of knowing. After that day, he blocked me on all social media platforms. I don't know why, and frankly, I don't even care. I've gotten over Brony men in Accra. Looking back, though, sometimes I wonder if there's a particular madness that possesses men in Accra. Like, once they get to Accra, something overtakes them. Are all men in Accra mad? Oh, it's me. Hey! Last, I'm back where I started. Still tired of Accra men. Nearly all of them are mad. Oh, my bodam!
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I would like to say, first of all, thank you to God, because it's really been a tough couple of weeks for us, and I'm just so grateful that we got to do this and you enjoyed it. So a round of applause for yourselves for being here. Also, would like to say a big thank you to the Writers Project, to PaGya, to the Goethe Institute, and all the sponsors of this festival for making this possible again. This is year 4. We've done this, and we are so grateful that we keep returning to the festival every single year. So I'll give everyone the opportunity to introduce themselves, and then, yeah, we'll just go ahead.
So my name is KWABENA.
Daniel DAZAM.
Angelina BOAKYE.
Esther Davis ESHUN.
LORDINA KWARTENG.
FIAVE.
And I'm Alice Johnson. And yeah. So we are Found Space. 99% of us are students of the University of Education, Winneba. Not students, we are alumni of the... I don't want to go back to school, I'm so sorry. Let me take that again. 99% of us were students of the University of Education, Winneba, Theatres Department. It's interesting that we are all standing at the same place minus him. So yeah. So some of us were in the same, this is very interesting. So we were in the same class, and then those two were in the same class, and he was in another class. And then there's Divine, who is also equally talented, but he wasn't a theater department student, but he's very equally talented. And I would like to, yeah, this is something that was born out of this particular festival, and we are so happy that it has grown to be what it is today. A big thank you to every single person who reposted all the things we've been... I know we've been bombarding you with the promo and the posters and telling you to come, and you all made it here, despite the traffic, the weather conditions, everything. Thank you so much, and God richly bless you. Hopefully, by the grace of God, with long life, good health, we'll be back again, PaGya 2025.
Yes. Okay, let's see. My microphone. Yeah. What? Oh, really?
What? What?